So why did you go back to the circus theme again? I thought you were going to replace it. You know, you're just making me... Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode, possibly another exciting long episode, hopefully not, of Defending My Collection, the video series where I go through all my Blu-rays and tell you little tales of things that might float through my cranium when I remember that I have these movies, any little stories and tidbits. That's usually what extends these videos out, but I like them, and people like them. And that's becoming me. I'm Rambling Raj. I talk too much. Don't use that theme anymore. I just like to talk to you guys about little stories that pop in my head, and I'm becoming that guy. So, hey, I hope you like me. Anyway, we're gonna get right onto this. First thing I want to do is thank all my subscribers. I'm up quite a bit since the last video. I believe the last video was a week ago, and I got, I think, quite a bit more subscribers. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for all the new subscribers that are out there. I'm going to actually do a shout-out video pretty soon, where I'm just going to read off all my subscribers and just give all you guys a shout-out. Maybe not all of you, because there's like over 200, but most of you, especially a lot of the newer ones. Yeah, so I want to thank you guys for that, and if you're new to this video and just stumbled across it and just like, who's this guy? What's he talking about? And you end up sitting through the whole thing and watching it, and you enjoy it, and you enjoy me and my stories, just down below there, hit that little red subscribe box, and you will see more movies or more little videos that I do. I don't think you'll get notifications. I still don't understand how I do that. Thanks for those that did write and give me some little hints on things, but I still don't understand. I guess I'm going to have to just, you know what I noticed too a lot of times, and I think they do hashtag to somebody, and I think then they get a notification. I noticed in someone, like the first message under someone's new video, they have a bunch of subscribers with the hashtag. I don't know anything about Twitter. I'm you know, computer illiterate that way. Give me a PC or a laptop and I know where I'm at. And, you know, my phone is just a goofy little phone. It's not even, you know, iPad and all that. Anyway, I'm poor. You know, I'm just a poor boy. Anyway, let's get on with it. Today we're doing the K and the L's. The K and the L's, we're almost to the M's, the big mountain, the top. I think that's, never mind. So we're going to go through the K's and then the L's, and I don't have too many. I said that last time, and it ended up being my longest video. So we will get started. We will get started. I think I'm touching all the bases. I thank them. And now we're going to do videos, and that's what we're doing. All right. Oh, cool movie. Great movie. Again, I just take them off the shelf, put them here, and then when I see them, I'm like, oh, I have that. I knew I had this. I just haven't really got... Oh, they just put a DVD thing in there. Did you see that? Hey, there. That's what I'm talking about. California. At the time, I felt this was Brad Pitt's best work because he was becoming the sex symbol and everything with Thelma and Louise starting out and then some other movies. But this, man, he plays a serial killer, which is just... Well, this whole movie really affected me when I first saw it. I believe on laser and then DVD, and I loved it ever since. Juliette and Lewis is like, I mean, the both of them are like trailer trash, and and it's my friends and I was always like, you know, put your titty back, Dale. What kind of kookaburra carries a cactus in their purse? And there's some funny stuff in here, and there's some very scary stuff, and then there's some really twisted stuff in here, but. Gotta drink the beers and see them doors. Great movie. If you haven't seen California, give it a chance. Give it a look. I'm not going to go into it. Read the story. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is something you guys don't even know about. I'm sure nobody out there knows about this. And I've been meaning to call into the B Movie Cast podcast and tell them about this. And one day I will. Just things have gotten pretty busy with me. There was a show when I was a little kid in the mornings, every day before school. Well, there were a couple. There was Ray Rayner, and then there was Garfield Goose and Friends. with the host Fraser Thomas. And it was basically just one guy and some puppets that he would talk to, and then he would show cartoons like The Funny Company and Max the Mouse. And he was the first one to do the Marshall Brodeen, the magic cards, or not the magic cards, the magic hands, I think. And it was just a magician showing you how to do tricks. And another thing he did was that show actually showed a serialized version of a movie that I didn't even know was a movie. I was so young. And it was always like episode 35. It seemed to never end because each episode was maybe 3 minutes in length, and then the beginning had a recap from the last 3 minutes. So maybe we're talking 5 minutes total for each chapter. But, it's like, in the last episode, you remember this and that. And the show, or the thing that they were showing, was called Journey to the Beginning of Time. And when I was young, and when I was getting into movies like Ray Harryhausen films, I thought this was a Ray Harryhausen film because the dinosaurs in it, the animation, was like Ray's animation. Little did I know that it was done by a man named Carl Zeman, Karelzeman. And I'm trying to look here. I believe I should have checked this before. I think he's Czechoslovakian. And when I got older and realized that Journey to the Beginning of Time was actually a full-length movie from Czechoslovakia, dubbed in English, and then re-edited a little bit, because when I was younger, I would go to the movie theater, and there was the full movie, and my friends were like, we used to watch this on Family Classics, let's go see it, and we saw the full movie, and it was great, and for years we loved it, and never was on videotape, it never came out anywhere until later in years. I don't believe it was ever on DVD. It was on videotape, because people used to dupe them. And I had an old VHS copy. And then in my older years, I found out that he did another movie, which was also shown by the same host, Fraser Thomas, but on another show called Family Classics, which was a Sunday afternoon show in Chicago, where he would host the show and he would show old movies like Boys Town or My Friend Flicka, Sink the Bismarck. That probably where I saw Mysterious Island and Journey to the Center of the Earth for the first times. And he started showing this movie called The Fabulous World of Jules Verne. And I was like, okay, and we watched this movie when we were younger, and it was such a unique viewing because it wasn't animated, it was live action, but the scenery, like the match shots, was hand drawn, and they were done in I forgot how they call it, like a wood carving look, where an image would like move and it give the impression of the water was moving, but it was really just like something like a lenticular thing where you would see one and another, and it would constantly do that, and it gave the impression water or engines or a balloon flying through the air or something. Anyway, it was a cool little science fiction story. And anyway, my brother contacted me last year or the year before, and he says, hey, do you know that Journey to the Beginning of Time is on Blu-ray? I was like, what? And did you know Fabulous World of Jules Verne is on Blu-ray? I'm like, what? And do you know Baron von Munchausen? I says, yeah, the Terry Gilliam. He goes, no, the same guy that made those two, he made a Baron Munchausen movie. What? And so he ordered it, and I got myself a copy, and it's called The Best of Carl Zeman. And here's the cover. It is a PAL from Czechoslovakia, I guess. But you can only get this through his website, which is a museum that they made for him where he shows his props, his dinosaur armatures, just like Ray Harryhausen. He was like he was the special effect genius back then. And these movies were done in 1958. Journey to the Beginning of Time was 1955, and Munchausen was 61. And I'm just going to hold the thing there so you can kind of see. Here's like the Journey to the Beginning of Time. There's Jojo, we used to know him as. And then here's from Fabulous World of Jules Verne. And then there's Baron Munchausen. And I can even kind of show you the back. The writing is all in foreign, but there you go. Look, I mean, they had huge, and then the odd drawings. And here is a shot of him actually working. How many pictures have you seen like that of Ray Harryhausen, where he's he's there and he's animating his dinosaurs or his characters. And look, here's Carl Zeman doing basically the same thing. And the disc is there anything on the other side here? No. But if you go to www, I'm going to spell it because museum is spelled differently. MUZEUMKARLAZEMANA.CZ. You could see his museum. There's little videos on there and stuff. And then if you go into the shop, you'll be able to find the Blu-ray of this. These are the original versions. They don't have the English dub versions, which I grew up with, but it's still great to have them in crystal clarity. And they have English subtitles, so you can read along with them. And they're great. They're great. If you've never heard of them, Journey to the Beginning of Time or The Fabulous World of Jules Verne, go on YouTube, go on another search for those, and they're on YouTube. I believe the full movies are. Maybe the English dub versions are out there. But just look at some of his animation. It's very Ray Harryhausen-like. And I'm so glad that that this was available and that my brother told me about it, because I haven't watched Munchausen yet. The Fabulous Baron Munchausen, it's called. But the other two, the main reason was Journey to the Beginning of Time, which isn't a great movie. It's like a B dinosaur movie. And The Fabulous World of Jules Verne, just because of the visuals and the crystal clarity of the picture, really makes those special effects look fantastic. So go check those out and then look for the disc if you're interested. This is probably one of my most unique collections in my collection, unique discs, where not a lot of people know about it, but I have it and I'm happy. Oh, the damn Best Buy putting a sticker on there. I enjoyed this movie. I really enjoyed it. The sequel, no. The sequel does not exist in my dojo. But when this one came out, I really enjoyed it. I thought Nick Cage did a fantastic job. I thought, oh, geez, what's her name? Chloe Grace Moretz. I can't say her name. Anyway, I'm talking about Kick-Ass. And the damn sticker on the thing, on the slip cover. But anyway, Kick-Ass is a great flick. I really enjoyed it. Came out of, I always say that, came out of nowhere. When it's coming out of here, I gotta stick that back in there and push that back in, and now the thing works. Okay, so Kick-Ass. No main stories on the thing. I love the use of music in here, especially when oh God, what's her name? It's Kick-Ass and what's the girl? I can't think of her character name. When she's in the office and she takes out all those guys and they play the opening theme to Freaks and Geeks, which is really a rock song from old time. Anyway, comes loaded with extras. Comes all kind of extras on here and discs. And Kick-Ass. I love Kick-Ass. It's a great movie. This movie really got to me. This movie, it's not like a Serbian film or Irreversible or something like that, but it's still a very extreme. I said that I'm not frightened by like ghost stories or really sci-fi alien type things and that. Mine, I really love. I'm saying this a lot, but I like psychological horror because there are really psychological, mentally people out there that could do things to you if they have the chance, or if they deem willed, or even a breaking and entering, you know, the funny games type thing, or the what's the other one, Ills, where the kids are trying to get into the house and stuff. But there's a movie that came out in Spain called Kidnapped. Of course, it's not called Kidnapped in Spain. It's called Sequestrados. I don't know how to speak or say. That's what it is, and that's the cover. And it's only available on Blu-ray through as an import. I don't know where I got this, but as an import. But this is a breaking and entering movie. This is about a group of guys that break into a family's home and demand money, and you know, there's a wife and there's a daughter, and the husband is taken by one of the guys to go to the ATMs to draw out money, and horror ensues. I mean, it's one of the most intense home invasion movies. Okay, that's about right. Yeah, home invasion movies that I've ever seen. The amazing thing is the entire movie is only comprised of 12 single take shots, meaning they didn't cut the camera. They either followed the person around, or the camera was positioned in one place, and the scene just plays out without any cuts. There are only 12 cuts in it. And there's the use of split screen, which is cool, which in one point there are characters that are in one here and there, and then they come together, and then when they meet, the screen goes to full, and beautifully done. Some very great acting by the daughter and the wife. I mean, great acting all around. It's a foreign film, and again, I'm constantly amazed by foreign films when I see them. I just watched Goodnight Mommy, which is a German film that the trailer is going around now, and that thing was jaw-dropping. The intensity, the build, the violence, and it's the same with this. No spoilers. I'm not going to say anything about what happens at the end, but if you haven't seen, in America, it's known as Kidnapped, and I believe it's 2010 it came out. Let me see if I can find a date in here. It's around, yeah, 2010. Just look for it, put it on your Netflix queue if you're interested in a ride, a very terrifying ride, but very classily filmed, well acted, and it is what it is. It's called Kidnapped, but the real name is that. I apologize, I don't speak Spanish. This I picked up in the old bargain bin for $5.99, and I was happy I did. Again, we're talking Tarantino, and he's only made a handful of films, and you gotta kind of have them all in your collection if you're a movie fan, because he's like one of the ultimate movie fans. Born and raised and bred in a video store. They could do a little fictional thing where he was born in a video store, and that was his life growing up. And he knows so much about movies, old movies, exploitation, grindhouse, and he makes these modern movie classics, which are like genre tributes to those old films. You know, Kill Bill's like They Call Her One Eye, and so many other revenge films. But I held off buying this for the longest time. How long has this thing been out? And this is the double one where you get both movies. And I'm glad they were both on separate discs. And for $5.99, you can't beat it. But I've been always waiting. I got a DVD, a bootleg rip that I got of the whole Bloody Affair cut, which is the full 2 movies put together with some tiny little extra bits added in it. And the black and white scene in the first one is full color. It doesn't switch to black and white. I watched the first one recently again, and you know, as with most Tarantino films, Pulp is probably my favorite. Reservoir Dogs, most of the time it's always the early ones. Although Django, I really like Django of his lately. But a lot of his films, when I put them in, I seem to just go to favorite scenes and watch those scenes. So like this, I watched the fight scene with the woman and the little girl there, you know, coming home, and then I jump all the way to the end with the leaves, the place. With, ooh, 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 ooh. That's another single take shot that Tarantino does over and then through there while she's hiding in the bathroom. And then the big fight scene at the end. I watched that whole thing, and it's like, that's all I need. Anyway, you got to have it in your collection. It's Kill Bill. You guys probably all have it. And there was talk that he was working on the whole Bloody Affair to release it on Blu-ray. I believe it's available on Blu-ray in Japan. Yeah. This came out a number of times. This is one of those movies that only true genre fans knew of it. back in the, I believe, VHS and then DVD, but it didn't get the big play on DVD. When it came out on Blu-ray, it's like been released a bunch of times in different versions, steelbooks and this, and everybody now knows about the movie. It's like it was one of these little hidden gems, like Meet the Feebles or Bad Taste, that only certain people knew those movies. Killer Clowns from Outer Space was like one of those movies. There were quite a few people that knew about it, you know, horror fans and stuff, but not the general public. Now that it's out everywhere in steelbooks and stuff, everybody knows Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's that classic now that everybody has, and this is great. This is an MGM version. This isn't a Scream or Shout Factory. I don't even know if they did that, but I kind of like that cover. That's like a horrifying cover. Cheapo Eco. Put your finger right through, rip it. But I'm happy with it. I watched it. I mean, the quality isn't the best because it's not the best quality. It's an old, cheap, black, grainy film, you know. And but it's one for the collection. You got to have it. Now, where's Meet the Feebles? Wow. You know, Matthew McConaughey, when he started, he was you know, all right, and that's what I like about these schoolgirls. That's what I like about these girls. I get older, they stay the same age. Yes, they do. But he started going off and doing these little independent dramas, and God bless him for it, because now he's like one of our greatest actors, and he's done some fantastic little indie films. I still have to pick up Mud. I don't have Mud, but I did pick up Killer Joe, a pretty intense flick, hired killer type of thing, and that goes awry. Gina Gershon and Emil Hirsch and Thomas Hayden Church is great in this. But McConaughey, man, he knocks it out of the park. His character is totally twisted and demented, and all I can say is don't have fried chicken when you're watching it. But I love that movie. That's a great movie. Killer Joe. If you haven't seen it, see it. There's something going to fall out of here, and I'm going to try to pull it out so it doesn't there. This is the classic. This is the amazing classic, and I love this digibook because it's got this nice soft feel to it. Warner brought this out. It's the classic, the one and only King Kong, the eighth wonder of the world. What a fantastic! There's the disc, and you know, with all these, they have nice little images and stuff about it. Kong was great. I don't have much to say about Kong. I had the Aurora model kit, and then I bought the glow-in-the-dark Aurora model kit, which was very weird because you would think they make the whole thing glow-in-the-dark. But his chest, his normal body was regular plastic. The head and the hands were glow-in-the-dark, so when you were going to bed at night and you turned it off and you looked on your little shelf there he was. It was just a head and these hands floating, glowing. But they did a number of those glowing things. But King Kong is great. This is a great addition to have. It has tons of extras on here. In fact, this is the little the backing that was on there that I have stuffed in here, as opposed to putting it with all the other backings. But King Kong, gee, maybe someday we'll find that spider pit sequence, huh? Maybe someday, just like London After Midnight. Maybe someday we'll find that. But Kong is great. I had the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack of that. And yeah, what can I say about King? It's the movie that influenced Ray, and God bless that, because from then on, Ray went off to make his little 14 movies that are classics. Everybody loves Ray Harryhausen films, and Willis O'Brien got him on that right track, you know. And then when they did Mighty Joe Young, they worked together, and Ray took off from there. But the classic is great. King Kong, it's a must-have in your collection. And then Peter Jackson says, I'm going to do King Kong, and he did. And he did this fantastic, gigantic movie. When it came out, it was lambasted for being way too long. And, well, nothing under there. But way too long and not very good. And, you know, through time, I don't know how people feel about it now. you know, I've talked in the past about critics, and you know, critics are just giving you their opinion. You know, why do you have to go by someone else's opinion? Why don't you just make up your own mind? Go and see it, and if you like it, you like it. And if you don't have to see it anymore. But anyway, Mel Brooks did the best thing he could do about critics in History of the World Part 1, where the caveman's drawing the painting, and all the people are like, oh, and then you see the guy pissing on the wall on the drawing that he did, and it's like, and there were critics were born. But I enjoyed this one. I had a very bad issue with the special effects, like the Brontosaurus scene. I thought the effects weren't done when they released it. The Kong stuff was great with Andy Serkis. That stuff was fantastic. The spider pit scene is nightmarish. That thing, you could just watch that sequence on Halloween and it will freak the hell out of you. Or in a late night, watch that spider pit sequence. It is just terrifying. Those bugs and creatures and slimy little things. And it's loaded with extras. I don't mind the length of it. Jackson's now known as the Mr. Like, I'm becoming known as the man who does 2-hour videos on YouTube. Peter Jackson's the guy who does these super long movies like Lord of the Rings and stuff, and I have no problem with it. This is like 3 acts. You know, you got the beginning, you got the stuff on the island, and then you got the stuff back in the city. And like I said, the special effects are pretty amazing for its time, and they still hold up to me. I have no problems with Kong. I like it. Of course, I love the original so much better. And it's so much shorter. But I have no problem with Peter Jackson. This is an early release of this. I believe Arrow released this, and I also believe, I think it was released again, possibly as a better special edition. But I just got this first one, and I haven't really looked back to get another one. Christopher Walken, one of our favorite actors of all time. This movie floored me. It has so many great stars in it. King of New York, Abel Ferrara. Let me see who you got. Christopher Walken. You got Larry Fishburne, David Caruso, Victor Argo. Man, what a character actor. Wesley Snipes. God, it's just great. It's a great mob movie. I guess you can call it a gangster flick, modern day gangster flick, and some pretty intense scenes, some beautiful visuals, a pretty rocking soundtrack, and Chris Walken, man, yeah, it's Chris Walken. It's Chris Walken. I saw this when it came out, and I saw it on cable or something, and I liked it. And then it came down real cheap. I found it in a bargain bin and picked it up. And I watched it again, and it's good. The ending is really, really intense, I thought. The Kingdom with Jamie Foxx. Really, really enjoyed this one. Chris Cooper's in here. Haven't seen this in a while. Jennifer Garner, Jason Bateman. Yeah, I'll need to watch this again because it's been a few years, quite a few years since I've seen this. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. And these investigators trying to figure out who's bombing places, and there's an intense scene at the end that may include a decapitation, which is just it's great. It's great. Who directed this? Peter Berg. Peter Berg, man, he does something like this, and then he goes and does Battleship. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, I guess. You know, got to pay the rent. He's got to eat. This thing I just picked up recently because it came way down in price, and I'm so glad it was this version because this comes with 3 versions of the movie. It comes with the director's cut, the theatrical version, and the original roadshow version. I'm talking about Kingdom of Heaven. Great movie. The director's cut is the only version you really need to see of this thing. Visually stunning. I won't say much about it. It's something to own. So get out there and get it if you can find it. Still real cheap. Comes on 2 discs. And loaded with extras. Like I said, all those versions of the thing, and then you got all these get it. It's well worth the price. It's heavy with features. Okay, this is one of my favorite Farrelly Brother films. After Dumb and Dumber, I believe this one came out, and then there was it Me, Myself, and Irene, which I liked, and then There's Something About Mary, that came out, and then the last one I really liked was probably Me, Myself, and Irene, because I didn't care too much. I mean, Stuck on You has its moments, especially Meryl Streep at the end. But I'm talking about Kingpin. Yeah, I love this movie. This movie has a fantastic soundtrack. That's the one thing about the Farrelly Brothers, especially in their early movies. They really knew how to pick some great music pieces in the movies. And the music they pick in this really fits the scenes they play during. And the great Bill Murray is hilarious in this. I love his ball with the rose in it. I'm not a bowling fan, and I don't consider this a bowling movie, as some people do. But probably you would say this is on par with like Major League as a baseball movie, but I feel Major League is more of a baseball movie than this is a bowling movie, because you got the Amish, you got the betrayal with Bill Murray at the beginning, and then the hand and the hook, and it's hilarious, and what's her name? I can't think of her damn name, and she's hilarious, and she's gone on to do some great stuff now. I can't think of what her name is. Anyway, the landlady. Anyway, Kingpin, funny. I love it. This has the unrated and theatrical. I watch the unrated now. Randy Quaid, man. You know what I'm waiting for? Why isn't Quick Change out? Bill Murray, Randy Quaid, Gina Davis. One of the great, it's kind of a heist movie. It's not really a heist movie, but it's about robbing a bank and them trying to get out of the city, and Jason Robards is chasing after them, and Randy Quaid is going nuts, and it's a great little farcical movie, and it's on DVD, but it's not out. I got the DVD, but it's not out on Blu-ray. Back when I was starting to collect Blu-rays, I would buy a few on eBay. And this one time, I didn't complain. I figured, and now I could probably find it real cheap. But I bought Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and this is how it came. No, nothing. No, paper. I was like, what is this? I want the Blu-ray. Why are you sending me that? Where's the... And then I went back and I read the description. In the fine print, it says, disc only. So, I don't mind. I love the movie. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, see it. Val Kilmer, but I can't... The Iron Man, what's his name, is in this. Robert Downey Jr. And it's just so great. This is such a great movie. Michelle Monaghan. But anyway, I'm not going to go on about this much. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. If you haven't seen it, see it. See it, damn it, see it. This was a recent buy because it came way down in price. I never saw it, but the trailer intrigued me. Looked like a lot of fun. And then I heard some reviews, and of course, when you hear reviews, you're like, well, I thought it was going to be good, now I won't go see it. Well, when it came down in the bargain bin, I took a chance and bought it, and I had a great time watching it, night and day. Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz, and I laughed a lot through this. I really liked it. I thought Cruise did Cruise is great, man. Say what you will about his Scientology and stuff, and that documentary that came out, he's... But you wonder, is he really just messed up by them too? Is he brainwashed? But anyway, I'm not going to get into all that. Night and Day, cool movie. I enjoy it. I'm glad I got it. I got it cheap. Let me hide this. Oh, digital copies. I got it real cheap, like in the bargain bin, and it has, it's the full big 3-disc set. Wait, 1, 2, 3? Yeah, I thought it was 4. And hey, I'm glad I have it in my collection. I enjoy it. You don't enjoy it? Don't watch it. I enjoy it. We're getting to the end of the case here. Yeah, we got 3 more. This, I had to get it when Arrow released it, and it finally came out in the U.S., but Arrow's release has so many extras. So many extras. George Romero, for a long time, Well, of course, Dawn of the Dead, the zombie trilogy. Well, now it's not a trilogy anymore. It's much more. But those were the movies. Those were the all-time great Romero. You know, you always watch those every year, a couple times a year. Those movies. Night of the Living Dead, big influence when I was growing up. Loved that movie. I went into that back then. And we'll probably talk a lot more about those movies when we get to them. See, my alphabetical was weird. When Night of the Living Dead under the N's, and then I put Dawn Day and Land and all the others after that. I don't know why. I'm keeping them together. Why not R for Romero? I don't know. When I think Night of the Living Dead, I think zombies, I go there. But anyway, after I saw this film, I said, you know what? This is my favorite George Romero movie of all, over Dawn of the Dead, everything. Because it really, I like how long it is. I like how the long story goes out. I've grown to love all those characters. And the not mythos, but the universe that Knight Riders. Love this movie. The music, Rubinstein's music, and then the passing of the crown and Tom Savini. I'm not going to cry, but that scene makes me cry. And then the whole little stuff that Ed Harris, you know, after he gives up his throne and he goes along and he rights the wrongs with some of those, you know, the little boy he yelled at and the idiot cop that he takes care of, and then the ending, and then the funeral scene, and that's another tear jerker. But great movie, great performance. Yeah, I had something here, and I'm going to do this. I get emotional, folks. You should see me like when I watch E.T. or something. I'm just bawling my eyes out. Anyway, Arrow released the great. There's the original poster art. You know, it's just awesome. Oh, that's on the card with all the Arrow stuff. Comes with the great book. Look how thick that book is from Arrow. Lots of great stuff in there. And it actually has the original artwork in the reversible sleeve, you know, and it's a big 2-disc set. I'm so happy I have it. I actually have this one-sheet poster, which is pretty amazing. I love this one-sheet poster. I'll have to put it up back there someday. I got Romero to sign it, and but I can't. Knight Riders, man, it has nothing to do with horror. There's no zombies. There's nothing. It's something unique, very unique that George Romero did. Away from the horror, but the emotion, the drama aspect of it. Like I said, it's beautiful. I love this movie, and Arrow did a fantastic job on it with all the extras. Look at all those extras on the back there. I haven't checked the U.S. version to see what extras are on there, but I'm happy with that. When I got that years ago, I was like, okay, I don't have to look anymore. I got my movie. All right, Nicolas Cage. Man, this thing, I really enjoyed this. A lot of people didn't care for it. It was around the time Nicolas Cage was doing crap. And then this one came out, and I was like, hey, this one ain't crap. This is a good one. You should... Nah, he does crap. He's a crappy movie. And I was even trying it because Ebert gave this a real good review. And I was like, look, even Ebert likes it. I don't care. I don't like Nicolas Cage. I'm not going to say it. Alex Proyas. Proyas. That's how you say it. Knowing. You know, I was intrigued by the storyline of this. I really liked the... you know, the mystery of the kids and the numbers and the things that he figures out with the dates and the times and the longitude and latitude, and man, that plane wreck scene was just jaw-dropping when you first see it. It's like, oh my God, and people are on fire, and then the ending. I'm not going to spoil, but I was pretty floored, and it gets kind of emotional. But I thought it was a great little film. I really did. So if you haven't seen Knowing, give it a chance. You know, look, put it on your queue or stream it or whatever, or pick it up on Blu-ray if you see it in the bargain bin or something, because it's worth for the collection. At least for me. At least for me, I enjoy it. This is my last K movie, and then we go into the L's. Where are we? We're 40 minutes in. We'll go quick. I always say that. Stephen Chow, man, didn't know who this guy was, and I think it was late night cable or something. I was flipping through channels and I came across this soccer movie with Asian actors. I was like, what is it? And it's funny. It was like, well, this is a pretty funny movie. What? And they were doing like special effects like Warner Brothers cartoons, you know, like running in place and the freaking stuff like that. And that movie I found out was called Shaolin Soccer, which when we get to the S's, I do have the import of on Blu-ray. Thank you, Imports and PAL Machine, or All Region Machine. But he was a very unique director and actor, and he came out with Kung Fu Hustle. And knowing the name Stephen Chow, I said, oh, I got to see this. I got to see this. And quite a few of the actors that are in this are in Shaolin Soccer. So that was a big bonus, too, watching this. And he's done other movies. Was it C4? The little alien, like E.T. type movie. And I don't think it was called C4. It was C something something, numbers and letters, like 3. CG4 or something like that. And then he just recently did one, like a fantasy one. I'm drawing a blank on that, but Kung Fu Hustle we're talking about. Funny, hilarious. The lady chase, running. It's like the old Warner Brothers cartoon. It's like a mob yakuza type thing, and a little town, and the guy with the strings and shooting you see the shadow of the head falling off. It's great stuff. It's total fantasy, with a lot of humor and some great fighting and stunts and visuals. If you haven't seen Kung Fu Hustle, give it a chance. Look for it. Pick it up. There's a little shot of her. And who's on the inside here? Oh, it's not. It says Blu-ray disc. Yeah, why would they put a picture under there? You only got the one. Anyway, Kung Fu Hustle is hilarious. See it if you haven't. Now we're going into the L's. JKL. Yeah, L's are next. This when I saw it, I liked it, but I didn't love it because the kid was so irritating to me. He was like fingernails on a blackboard. He kept saying, "I'm in the movie. We're in the movie. How are we in the movie?" Oh, he irritated the hell out of me. I'm talking about The Last Action Hero. I hate this cover. I wish they had, like original poster art cover. But Arnold, man, a cool concept for a movie. Really cool idea. The crossing of the, like Purple Rose of Cairo type of thing. Although much more fun and intense. Although that's a great movie too. But some really funny stuff in here. A lot of cameos by a lot of your action stunt people, and and Tom Noonan as the big evil guy in here, man. Is it Tom Noonan? Yeah, it is Tom Noonan, right? The big bald guy with the long hair at the end. Art Carney. F. Murray Abraham. Art Carney's in this? Is that Norton Art Carney? I don't remember Art Carney in here. Robert Prosky, yeah. Tom Noonan. Yeah, I was right about Tom Noonan. Tom Noonan, right there, as from Red Dragon. No, as from Manhunter with the tattoos. Unused shot, actually, from the movie. I got that autograph from him. I saw him at a convention one time. But Last Action Hero is a lot of fun, and it came down like another $5 thing. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to buy it. Of course, I'm going to have it for my collection. It's Last Action Hero. It's funny, and I've watched it again, and yeah, the kid is irritating, but I'm past that. Let's just get into the fun action of it. This was a double feature, but I bought it for one movie. Just like the Deep Rising that came with Puppet Masters. I wanted Deep Rising, but Puppet Masters was there as a bonus. I was waiting. I loved this movie. This is a Bruce Willis movie that I love. Still to this day. Damon Wayans and little Danielle Harris in there. The Last Boy Scout. Love that movie. Excuse me. And it came bonus with Bruce Willis's Last Man Standing. Which, it's all right. Is that Walter Hill? Tony Scott? Walter Hill. Yeah, Walter Hill. You know, it's okay. I watched it when I had a toothache, and I was uncomfortable watching it, so that probably why I didn't like it at the time. I haven't watched it since I bought this set. I watched this. Yes. Laserdisc days. Man, there were some days I would watch that movie. Sometimes I would watch once a month. I would put Last Boy Scout on and watch it. I still, like I said, I love the movie. It's cool. And they squeezed both on with an Cheapo case. But I'm glad I finally got the version on Blu-ray. It's got like no extras whatsoever. And I hope someday they might do like a special edition with some extras on there and have its own disc, but I kind of doubt it. Boy, we're in Schwarzenegger and we're in Bruce Willis. We're in there. A lot of action in the L's. I'm not going to talk too much about this. Skinslip has, and even Stoudman has talked about this lots of times. And neo-western, as they say. I just like it because it's a damn great movie, The Last Stand. I so like this. It was such a breath of fresh air, because it was like seeing Schwarzenegger back in an 80s movie that wasn't really, an 80s or a 90s movie that was mysteriously never released. And then they said, oh, we found this. Here, look at it now. And it's great. And it's cheapo eco, of course. The Last Stand is comes with the ultraviolet, but I'm not going to give this out. Everybody probably has it already. It's been out for a long time. But I liked it. Johnny Knoxville is hilarious in this thing. And it is very Western-like. It's also very, feels somewhat John Carpenter-ish. I don't know why, but I seem to remember thinking of John Carpenter when I was watching this. I don't know why. But anyway, The Last Stand, it's worth getting for the collection. It's really good. And here's a must-own for the collection, for any true movie fan collection. You might notice I don't have a whole lot of classics. Like I have no Kurosawa. I have very little Hitchcock, or very little Orson Welles, or who did Mr. Smith Goes to Washington and stuff. It was there and then it floated away. But anyway, this is amazing. They did a beautiful 4K on this. And I don't have 4K to enjoy it, but it's still, and it's the full extended director's cut, cleaned up, 50th anniversary edition of Lawrence of Arabia. Lawrence! Great flick, great visuals. Just enough has been said about it. This, and Ben-Hur and some of those other just great classics. They're mainstays in cinema, and they belong in everybody's collection. This comes with the slip. Bunch of beautiful extras on here. 2-disc with the UV. But yeah, if you haven't seen Lawrence, and this is fairly cheap now. You can pretty much find this. I don't know if you can find the slipcover anymore, but it's fairly cheap. And you need to have it. It's a great flick. It's beautiful soundtrack. Oh my God, the music, the visuals, and the crystal clarity on this is breathtaking. The shot of him and seeing the tiny speck of what's his name coming closer, and you see it, and it's perfect. There's no blur. It's beautiful. Well, these we can go through real quick. We got a bunch of seasons of this. And, well, this one ain't it, that's there. I stumbled across this show looking for something. It's funny, for like years and years and years before I moved into my mom's or my brother's house to take care of my mom who was ill, I lived like almost 20 years without cable. I moved into an apartment and decided one day to plug my cord into the wall, and it was like, I got cable, but I'm not paying. Maybe the building's cable ready. And I had it for about a year. And all of a sudden it just disappeared. So I don't know what happened. Maybe the technicians found that it was still plugged in and disconnected. But I had free cable for a year, which was cool. But around that time, I kind of knew that I don't like cable. You know, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff, but most of the stuff you can get on the internet through means of, however, legally or illegally. Now streaming is the option, or Netflix, you know. But so you really don't need to pay for all those channels that you constantly just flip through. Not the non. You end up stopping at MeTV to watch Addams Family or so. And all those reality shows, those bad reality shows. So when I moved in with my mom, to take care of her, I set up my space down in the basement, and I had cable because they had cable. And it was so long since I've had cable in my original apartment. Those 20 years went by, and now I'm seeing it again. And why am I talking about this? I really saw the deterioration of television. Yeah, there's some good stuff out there. But even AMC, with all the classy shows they have, all those damn ad breaks and crap at the bottom of the screen, and there were even more, triple, quadruple more reality shows that were bad, fake reality shows, pawn shows and towing repo shows, and oh my God, there's garbage out there. It's just a wasteland. And idiocracy is becoming reality. But throughout all that darkness, there was a few little shining lights that popped out, and I was like, well, this is kind of funny. I like this show. I'm going to watch this show. And first season was cool. And second season, I like this. This is cool. I was at my mom's house maybe 3 years before she passed. So I had like about 3 years of cable. And then when I moved here, I didn't have cable anymore. And I don't want it. And I'm happy for it. I don't see commercials. People say, "Oh, did you see that funny?" No, I didn't see it. "Oh, are you going to look for this?" No, I don't know what you're talking about. Do you watch this show? No. I read on the internet and see if there's an interesting show, and I have my little favorites. You know, American Horror Story, this or that, and one of the other ones was The League. This show is hilarious. All these guys, Duplass and. I'm missing all the what are the names? Putting their names in the back so I can say they're great. Rafi, man, he's hilarious in this, and not one of these has the actual actors' names on any of the discs. What? Put the names on there. Anyway, so I got all the seasons that came out on Blu-ray. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, and Season 5 I just pre-ordered. Although I do wait for them to come down in price. These are all, I could squeeze. See, I got a stack, but I could put my finger right through. Because why? Because they're all damn cheapo eco. Well, maybe not. They're just cheapo cases. Yeah, they are flimsy. Anyway, it's a funny show. If you haven't seen The League, see The League. I stumbled across a few of these weird little shows that I love. And the unfortunate thing is they're not coming out on Blu-ray. There's this Big Time in Hollywood, Florida, which just played earlier this year, and it's hilarious. And Portlandia, those are coming out on Blu-ray. Jim Jeffries, comedian, Australian comic, he has a show called Legit, which one season came out on... Yeah, we're going to get to it. One season came out on Blue. The second season didn't, and it was canceled. But the second season's not on Blue. You can get the DVD. And what's the other one that just... I don't know. And anyway, like I said, The League is we're talking about. I'm talking about cable and shows and stuff. But anyway, let's get on with the L. So this isn't... Wow, we're still under an hour. Cool. Because I think we're not going to go too far. This I saw this in the theaters. And loved the visuals. The music at that time was Tangerine Dream. And it's on here too, but there's also the original Jerry Goldsmith score on here. Is it Jerry Goldsmith? Yeah, I'm sure it is. And it's a Ridley Scott film that didn't do very well at the box office. And Tom Cruise really got pretty lambasted for his performance in this. I found nothing wrong with it. I thought it was total fantasy. I was sucked into it right from the very beginning. The visuals with all the poppies, I believe they were poppies, or the little things floating through the air. You know what I'm talking about. Like a dandelion when you blow, and the little what do they call those? But I mean, just the visuals and the music and the unicorn scene, and then the demons, the goblins with, excuse me, Tim Curry as that character with that makeup job and that voice of his. Wow. And then years later, I was at a Fangoria convention, and somebody was selling Laserdisc, and I came across, I believe it was the Japanese import of the original director's cut of this with the original Jerry Goldsmith score, and I picked that up, and it was like a totally different movie. Not that it was any better or anything, but it was just a different movie. It was weird. It felt different because I was so in love with the Tangerine Dream score in this. But anyway, yeah, not a lot of people crazy for it, but I'm very happy with it. It's not a big special edition. It's got a few extras on here, but isolated score and stuff. But I love the fantasy aspect of it, and I'm not really a fantasy guy, like unicorns and things like that. But this really got me, and Ridley Scott, after Blade Runner, and it was just beautiful to me, beautiful. And people don't like it, and that's all right. I like it. It's in my collection. I can watch it anytime I want. You don't want to watch it, you can go watch soccer or something. You like, I like, you like. I might have to make another drink. I'm gonna have to stretch that out. It's one drink a show. This I saw in the theater. See, again, that's the advantage of being an old fart like me, is I had the opportunity, and majority of the time, I saw all these great films in the theater and experienced it with the audience. I think I was talking about Halloween the first time I saw that, how the crowd was going crazy. And recently, I'll try to put a link in the thing. Somebody had released, I don't know how, somebody recorded, probably like I did, because I mentioned I did that with a cassette player. Maybe that was mine, that when I lost it or threw it away, somebody found it. But they had the actual audio track of the audience reaction to the original Halloween near the end of the movie. And there's like a little 4 or 5 minute clip. And I'll put it on in the bottom if I remember. And it's just, when you see movies like that, it's just great. And you go into a little theater, your neighborhood theater, and the smell of the popcorn. And back then they had the vending machine for the soda. You didn't have a fountain at the counter. You had this machine. You put a quarter or a dime in, and this little Dixie cup would fall, and then hopefully, or it would fall at an angle, and then your stuff would just spill out. And then there was like crushed ice that would go, and then they would pour the liquid in there, and you would have your little Dixie cup, and it was your soda. Now you get these gigantic big gulps that you get at the theater. Back then it was a little thing, and we were happy. We had our popcorn, and we were drinking a little Dixie cup and sipping. But back in that day, I saw this movie, The Legend of Hell House, Roddy McDowell stick. Why do I call him stick? Roddy McDowell. I had a big crush on Pamela Franklin when this came out. I was a little kid, but man, there was something about her. Bastard, when she's doing the demonic voice. Yeah, I love this movie. I thought it was great. And then to find out, spoilers, the ending with Michael Gough, behind the thing and having the legs and that. I thought the ending with Roddy in the church, and he's, your mother wore it, and then the boom and pushing him back. I thought that was really done very well. But anyway, I like this movie. It's great. I'm so glad it finally came out on Blu-ray. Is this Scream? Shout? Yeah, Scream Factory. I noticed because it has a reversible slipcover. And, well, this is the art on the other reversible. But I chose the original poster art, I remember. Wow, this also reminds me of like The House That Dripped Blood. Wonder if it was, 73, 74, 75. There were some great little horror movies like this. Amicus was still making those little Asylum and things like that. It was just so great going to a movie theater. And we, like I said, I think I mentioned we had a theater in our neighborhood One was a regular theater that showed 2 movies, and another one was like 2 movies. But then there was one, the Brighton, that showed 3 movies, and you could stay the whole day. It was so great. My era growing up was so great. There was a lot of problems, but I have memories of my childhood that was just so great. This came out, and it was called The Professional. Just The Professional. I was like, what's this movie? I'm going to go see this movie. And it was young little Natalie Portman. And again, just like with Danielle Harris, I was like, who the F is this little actress? She's beautiful. She can act. She's amazing, this little star. And now, of course, she's a grown woman actress in her own right. Great. But first performance was amazing. And the first time I ever saw Jean Reno. And Gary Oldman, I knew of Gary Oldman, basically probably because of the movie Romeo is Bleeding, which I think predated Leon, which I thought was fantastic. Oh, I wonder if that's on Blue. I'm going to have to see if Romeo is Bleeding is on Blue, maybe as an import, because I could go again seeing that. That was great. But anyway, I love this movie. I love the soundtrack. I love the action. I love the storyline. I love the little love affair that happens between the two, which at the time was written as pretty controversial and debated over what was really happening. Although if you stand back and just watch it as it is, there's nothing else happening. It's a crush, and, you know. But then I heard of Leon, the Professional. Or it was just called Leon. It wasn't called The Professional. They did that for the videos so they can say, hey, remember, this is actually called The Professional. But originally it was just called Leon. And I understood there was some extra scenes, and I'm glad that this finally version came out. I believe it was on Laserdisc that the full Leon version came out. And I'm glad this finally came out on Laser. And did I open this already? I did. There's nothing in here. It's that. But just a great flick. It's. I'm sure most people know of this movie. I'm not going to go into it. Luc Besson. And this one, yeah, another one of those. Just like this year. This year with horror has been really good. With the Babadook and Goodnight Mommy and It Follows. There's some great horror movies. Crawl or Die. There's some great horror movies this year. But at this year, which was this 2010? 2009, this came out. And this is the original Let the Right One In. And this is the fixed subtitled version because there was an issue with the first pressing. And then they remade it called Let Me In, which I did see. Didn't want to see it, and I did see. And actually, there's only like one sequence in it that I really appreciate, and that's the guy trying to get away in the car wreck, shot statically through the window as he's going backwards and falling off the ravine and just looking out the windshield. Beautiful and tumbling. That's the only scene in that movie that I really like. The only part of that movie that I appreciate. This is the one and only one I'll ever watch. I remember the ending just had me jaw drop. Actually, the scene where he's out with the kids and he hits the kid in the head with the wood, just like, what's going on? It was great, and child actors and doing a fantastic job. Yeah, if you only saw Let Me In, check out the original Let the Right One In. It's really, really good, really entertaining. Like I said, it's the preferred version I prefer to watch. And it's creepy as hell. This, I had the DVDs, I had the Laserdiscs, and the DVDs came out, and they actually then released the director's cut of the DVDs, so you have to rebuy them again. And when I was selling off all my DVDs, knowing I was getting into Blu-ray, these haven't been released yet. But I didn't mind. I was like, I've seen these things so many times. There's no reason to rush out and buy them when they came out. And then eventually, after the fourth one, it seemed like they're not going to make another one. They pretty much ended it, especially with the end credits with all the photographs. I'm talking about Lethal Weapon. This is the full Weapon collection, the Lethal Weapon collection that comes with all 4 movies, director's cuts, commentaries. Yeah, and this is one of the biggest Blu-ray cases I've seen. And comes with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a bonus disc. And don't need to buy any version. I'm glad this came out in a big mega set with everything. The Lethal Weapon movies, man. 1 was great. 1 was like Die Hard. It was like, wow, this is a great action film, a great buddy cop film, funny. Gary Busey was amazing in this thing. Danny Glover, go spit! You ain't getting... Man, and then the electroshock, which in Last Boy Scout, you see Daniel Harris watching Lethal Weapon as Mel's getting electroshocked by that, oh, what is his name? Not Al Hong? Not Al Hong. Is it Al Hong? The character action actor, Asian actor that's kind of bald, but he has long hair, and he's got the little goatee. He's the one that's electrifying Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon, but you've seen him in a bunch of other movies. He's even in T2. He's in Last Action Hero. Yeah. But anyway, I think it's Al Hong? No, I don't know. Look him up. Anyway, when you see him, you know him. Oh, that's that guy. He was in Big Trouble in Little China. Anyway, so yeah, the first one was great. First one is amazing. The second one blew me away. The second one was even better. Diplomatic community. Oh yeah? And then the ending where you think, is this going to be the end of the season? The series? Season. This might be the end of the series. Someone's dying. But no, they went on and did 3, which was... And then they did 4, which... Jet Li! Well, can't all be winners. But I got them all, and they're all on the set. And, yeah, Lethal Weapon. Warwick Davis. The little man who was Willow, and the little Ewok. I can't think of what that character, little Ewok's name was. But you know him. You love him. Ricky Gervais, after doing The Office and Extras, he did that show which we were talking about in the A's, An Idiot Abroad, which the 3rd series of that show featured Warwick Davis. They decided to send him out with Carl Pilkington on those little trips, and they would bicker back and forth and stuff. But then, like a year later, Ricky Gervais produced this show called Life's Too Short with Warwick Davis. And it was kind of like a pseudo-serious thing about him as an actor trying to get work, trying to help the little people community. And it's like Hello Lady, Stephen Merchant. It's like The Office. It's that uncomfortable humor, that like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Those situations that happen and then they snowball and they get worse and worse, and it's just uncomfortable. And this is the first season that came out. And I believe there was a second season, which is not on Blu-ray. And I believe they did a Christmas special, which is, I believe, not on Blu-ray. Or maybe it's just one season and then the Christmas special. I might be mistaken there with a second season to this. But anyway, I had to import it from England. I love the show. It's not on Blu-ray here in the States. You have to import it. If you haven't seen it, it's a very funny show. A lot of great, unique characters, as with most Ricky Gervais shows. I understand a lot of people aren't very Ricky Gervais fan-friendly because he seemed, well, especially with it in Idiot Abroad, he seems to instigate a lot of uncomfortability for his so-called friends, Carl Pilkington and stuff. But it's all an act. Everybody's friendly with everybody. But this is a totally different thing. He just produced it, and it's all Warwick, and it's hilarious as hell. It's extremely funny, at least in my eyes. And speaking of something that's extremely funny and everybody should see, everybody should own, and I'm disappointed about something which I will go into, but again, this guy, I think I seen him in a few stand-up routines, and he was very funny. But then the show, he produced this show, which he turned out he did and wrote and directed and filmed and acted in all himself. And he made a deal with, was it AMC or FX? And they says, yeah, you can do everything you want. We're not going to say cut it or whatever. And throughout his 3 seasons, he 3 or 4 seasons, 5 seasons, he did just that. And he's a genius. I consider him a genius. He's amazing. He's an artistic filmmaker. He makes these funny little situation sketches, but then he makes these very thought-provoking, poignant little sketches. I'm talking about Louis C.K. This is the first release of his first season, which came in a DVD-sized box, which I'm on again, off again. Should I rebuy it in the DVD box or the Blu-ray box to fit? But I'm happy with it. It comes with the DVD and the Blu-ray version disc of the show. Great stuff, great stuff. You know about Louis C.K. And then I picked up the 2nd season, which is just as funny. I love Louis C.K. His show, Louis, is hilarious. And his other seasons are not on Blu-ray. And I don't think they're going to come out on Blu-ray. Just like when I was talking about Legit, the Jim Jeffries show. Oh, and Marin was the other one. They're great shows, and they're shot in 1080p. They're in HD, but they only release the DVDs. Where are the Blu-rays of these, damn it? And I don't think they're going to release any more Blu-rays of Louis. I think it's just going to go strictly to DVD, which is really a shame because they're beautiful. 1080p, you know, when you see that, and then, yeah, there's an upcover, but it's nowhere near 1080p. But yeah, Louis C.K. If you haven't seen any of the Louis episodes, watch them. They're hilarious. They're just great. They're just great. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll kiss $3 goodbye. What was that from? Hardware Wars. I'll get into Hardware Wars when we get to S, when we talk about Silent Running, because that was the first time I saw Hardware Wars, was when I saw Silent Running. Hardware Wars is a Star Wars parody, made with home utensils. Never mind, we'll get into that later. This movie is amazing. I would put this kind of up there with like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, as where it's serious but then it's funny, and yeah, it's Lucky Number 11. Bruce Willis, Morgan Freeman, oh, what's his name? Lucy Liu, Bruce Willis, Ben Kingsley. Gosh. Anyway, it's a yeah, and it has them in it, and it's kind of violent, and it's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Pretty good. Yes. Comes with a lot of extras, and that's all I'm going to say about it. Because it's been like, wow, when did this come out? This came out 2005. So it's been, depending on when the Blu-ray came out, which is then I saw it, was probably the last time I saw it. So there's not a lot in the cranium that in the gray matter that I'm remembering, but I remember loving it and liking it. And I need to watch it again. This movie was either loved or hated. I loved it. A friend of mine really hates it and doesn't understand my love for it. I love the quirkiness of it. I love the cast, everyone in the cast, especially Alan Arkin. I really like Alan Arkin. Where's my coupe? Did you bring the DeVille? You gotta come bring it delivered to my mom. I'm making a stop sign. Alan Arkin. That's a bad Alan Arkin. But he plays the grandfather in Little Miss Sunshine. Fun little movie, great little movie. Love the opening credits of this thing. Love the music. Again, the quirkiness. All the characters with all their mental issues and problems. And Greg Kinnear, hilarious. and little Abigail Breslin, her first little, which is beautiful, and their little slap in the face to like those Little Miss Sunshine pageants. It's just a great film. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. It was nominated. I don't think it won. Or did it win? No, it would have said on here if it won. Winning. Hilarious. Does it say what it won? Doesn't say. This must have came out before the Oscars, but I know it was nominated. Wow. Well, anyway, hey guys, I'll be right back. Whoosh! And I'm back. I just had to refill my drinky winky. Because I know I'm going to get thirsty, and I'm drinking that, and then we got about this much more to go. Why did I have the sticky... I still got the sticky booger thing on the back. I should take that off, but it's not bugging me now. Roger Corman. What can I say about Roger Corman? I'm not going to say much, because this isn't a Roger Corman movie. It's based on a Roger Corman movie. Actually, it's based on a stage play, musical, that was based on a Roger Corman movie. I'm talking about Little Shop of Horrors, bop, she bop, never gonna fit. Yeah, be a dentist. You have a talent for causing things pain. Oh, come be a dentist. Singing instead of telling you about it. Digibook, beautiful. So glad it finally came out. On Blu-ray. Looks beautiful. Sounds beautiful. And it has the original alternate ending where the plants take over the world. It's great. I remember listening to the soundtrack to this. Note from the director, Frank Oz. Oh. Alarm goes off at 7 as we... Great music in the thing. I saw the stage play, which was really cool because it was done like in the round. And at the very end, when they talk about the plants are going to take over the world, they had set up above everybody on their seats. It was like in the round, but it was dinner theater. So you had tables, you all kind of sat around and ate, and then you watched the show. But at the end, when all the plants were attacking, they had these little boxes that would open up that you didn't notice were up there, and they would open up, and all these like vines would come down all over the audience around us. It was great, and you're like in vines, like they're like the plant is coming down at you and attacking you, reaching out for you. It was a fun play. It was a great musical. It was so ingenious the way they took that little movie with Nicholson and oh, come on, the famous actor who's in all Joe Dante's movies, Dick Miller. It's the brain. Yeah, Dick Miller, man. Oh man, he's getting up in age, and he's one of those guys I really wish I would have met at a convention and got his autograph. But anyway, it was genius to take that little movie story and turn it into this beautiful musical. And then the musical was such a hit that they had to make a movie out of it. And Frank Oz, who's one of our... Not many people talk about him as a director, but he's really good. He's really good. And the visuals he does in this movie, the way he shoots the musical numbers, the way the whole movie looks like it takes place on a giant movie set with a working L, which is a miniature going by. And then the puppetry and the slight CGI tweaking. Yeah, the plant's twerking. The little bits they add, the plant is so great. And then the voice of the plant, which I don't know and I'm not going to say, and you can look it up, but feed me Seymour. But the movements of the lips and then the song him and Moranis does together is... I loved this movie. I saw it at the show. There might have been 20 people in the whole entire theater with me. And nobody wanted to see this. Nobody went to see it. And and then there was always this talk in magazines and stuff about this famous ending scene that was the original ending was the plants were going to take over the world, and you only saw images, black and white images of like a plant breaking through a movie theater, or around the Golden Gate Bridge, you know, attacking the cars and stuff. You only saw images, miniature images of that. And they finally got the footage and cleaned it up and added it in here, so you can watch the original theatrical or you can watch it with the original ending. And it's astounding. It's great. It really makes the movie better, in my opinion. Rick Moranis, he retired. He's missed. He's missed. My gosh, this and the Shrunk the Kids movies and Ghostbusters and all the SCTV stuff he did. I know he retired, you know, but I'd love to see him again in something. Really would. Really, really would. Beautiful digibook with lots of great images. If you haven't seen Little Shop of Horrors, the musical remake, see it. See it now. Oh. They did a New York Film Festival Q&A when Little Shop came out. When this version, I think it was an anniversary. Oh no, it was in this. When this version came out, which has the original alternate ending. And it's on YouTube, and you can find it, but I actually downloaded it and burned it to a CDR so I can keep it with that. So when I watch it, then I watch the little Q&A after, and it's like I saw it at the theater with them. And they talk about the extra stuff and the whole movie in general. Like I said, it's on YouTube. This is one of those I saw on the show. I liked it because I was young and didn't know any better and just took everything in. And then years later when I saw it, I was like, wow, those miniatures are really dated. They look like little toys. These nothing looks real about this. But still in all, the movie, the story, and the visuals, the production design, the costumes, the look of everything, talking about Logan's Run, the original classic with, oh my God, I really am getting bad. I really am losing my mind. Michael York, Basil Expedition. Michael York and Jenny Agutter, beautiful Jenny. I love this movie. This was a great sci-fi movie, and I had the novels, Logan's World and Logan's Quest. I don't know. There was 2 or 3 novels that followed the original Logan's Run novel, and I had those, and those are gone now. All my paperbacks. I had tons of movie tie-in paperbacks. Westworld, which was the script paperback. It was Future World. I had some of Willard and Ben books, although Willard was the Ratman's notebooks. But I had all those on paperback, and in one of my moves, it was one of those things, either I put it in a box and carry it along, or just like, you know, we're going to Goodwill, just going to throw all these books away. Just going to give them away. That's it. Sometimes you do that. Sometimes, you know, you're under pressure to move and you just don't have enough boxes, or just don't, you know, let's just get rid of them. I'm never going to read them again. And now I look back and go, you know, I can be giving them away, and what's in the box? But Logan's Run, it's very dated. Cheapo Eco. It's very dated, but young Farrah Fawcett in here when they're going to the plastic surgeon with the lasers. And the soundtrack, the electronic score on there, very different than excuse me. Very different than, I talk fast, and then I'm not breathing right, and I'm belching. But even though I'm talking fast, my videos are longer. Oh my God, we're getting long. I gotta go. What's the point? You know, I could edit all this stuff out, but it's the frustration. I hope you're enjoying my frustration. And it's like, you know, I don't care. If I'm making 2-hour movies on one letter or two, I hope you're enjoying these, folks. I hope you're enjoying them. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't remember. But it's a good movie. See Logan's Run. It is dated. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Damn, those. Go watch my Trauma Tales. You'll wonder why. You'll find out why I'm always sniffling. This, I believe, just came out this year. And I had this on DVD, and I loved it. You know, Warner Brothers, I grew up watching the Warner Brothers cartoons, you know, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Elmer Fudd, Bugs Bunny, all the whole cast. And they did Space Jam, and I did not like Space Jam, mainly because I'm not a sports fan, and I wasn't a big Michael Jordan fan, even though he's a big Chicago sports guy, and God love him and all that fun stuff. But I had no desire to see Space Jam, and I think it was on cable one time, and I might have watched a half hour of it, and it's like, I don't know. But then my buddy Joe Dante, who I love his movies, decided to do Looney Tunes back in action. Why do I like it? I love this movie because it's Joe Dante. I love Joe Dante's movies. He knows how to put genre stuff in his movies. You got Robbie the Robot. You got the Time Machine in here. No, wait, that's Gremlins. What am I saying? Here you got the face. You got the Fiend Without a Face. You got a bunch of aliens and stuff in that one scene. The humor in this is hilarious. I think Brendan Fraser is really good in it. Steve Martin's way over the top, but it's a kids Warner Brothers cartoon, live action. Roger Rabbit like, with the live action and the cartoons. And this is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorite movies. It's not a guilty pleasure. It's a favorite, and the Blu-ray has loaded with extras, which I'm so glad for. I'm so glad it came out, even though it's cheapo eco. But if you haven't seen, you know the rest. Okay, this came out nominated, intense, great little war drama. I loved it. Had a little controversy after it came out about creative differences, and what really happened and what really didn't. And it does seem very Hollywood, the way it ends, and then the saving and all that type of stuff. But I don't care. I don't care. I loved this movie. Well, I didn't love it, but I think it's a damn great movie. And it's one everybody should see. Lone Survivor. Like I said, pretty intense. War tale of what's happening now. Or has in a few years, over the last couple of years. Yeah, I got not more to say on that. It's been out a while. DVD, Blu-ray, UV. But got to give a UV at the end. We'll save it for the end. But Lone Survivor, some damn good film work. I thought it was really shot well. I thought Wahlberg did a great job in that. Who else is in there? Oh, it's another Peter Berg. It's a Peter Berg. See, what was the other Peter Berg I liked? And so he does good movies and he does bad. He's got to eat. You do what you do. This was a Laserdisc favorite. This and like Last Boy Scout. Every year I watched. Every year. This one around the winter because it takes place in the winter and it makes me feel chilly. I don't know why I have that weird thing. But Long Kiss Goodnight. Back when Gina Davis was up on the top, Sammy Jackson. He was just, cruising along, making a bunch of movies. There's the belches again. Excuse my belches in advance and in past. Cool little story. Really cool little story about the girl who lost her memory, and it's been done before. It's the Bourne, the Bourne movies. I don't remember who I am, and I'm a spy, a super spy. But and Jackson comes along for the ride. It's cool. It's really great. I love it. Rennie Harlin, one of probably the last good Rennie Harlin movies that I'll give a pass to. But I really, really liked it. And that's all I'll say. Long Kiss Goodnight. Long Kiss Goodnight. Great soundtrack. Good soundtrack on there. This was awesome. This was amazing, and I need to watch this again. I only watched this when I first got it. I seen it like 2 or 3 times before I bought the Blu-ray, so I'm well familiar with it. But I loved the story. The acting is great. And that little kid from Third Rock from the Sun is a damn good actor. I'm talking about The Lookout. Yeah, we all know where he went. Looper and Insomnia and all those other movies. But this is a great little movie. I'm not going to say much about it. He's a normal character who gets in a car accident and something happens with his brain where he's not normal. No, I'm not going to say normal. He's normal. He's just not all there anymore. But there are parts of him that are very smart and still can reason and think things through. And these other characters are kind of using him as a lookout during a heist. And that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Jeff Bridges, Matthew Good. Oh, Jeff Daniels. Jeff Bridges. I did that before. Yeah, from the screenwriter of Out of Sight and Get Shorty. This isn't a, is it? Scott Frank. Yeah, this ain't based on one of those, that noir writer. No, it isn't, I don't think. Anyway, The Lookout. If you haven't seen it, it's in the bargain bins. It's very cheap. You can find it like for $2 now, I'm sure. But if you want a damn good movie with some great acting and a great Joseph Gordon-Levitt performance, Third Rock from the Sun. Now he's a fantastic actor. In things like Looper, where he played a young Bruce Willis, which was amazing. What they did with him, with the eyebrows and the nose, and he looks like a young Bruce Willis. It's this movie. This Rian Johnson, who directed this? Yeah, Rian Johnson, man. He directed a bunch of Breaking Bad episodes, and he does some fantastic work. And Looper, again, one of those movies that came out of nowhere, little time travel type thing, is a fantastic. Oh, it's even got some little art in the back there. Bruce holding Bruce, old Bruce holding young Bruce. You've probably seen this. A lot of people seen this already. It's been out a long time. It's a classic time travel movie. It ranks up there with the others. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go on about this. I am going to show it off because it is the awesomeness mega set Blu-ray extended version of all the Lord of the Rings. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan and a Blu-ray movie fan, you probably have this in your collection. This is that big, beautiful set. Oh, it does open. Yeah. That big, beautiful set. It opens like that, and it has all the black cases, which are really nice. Wait, am I doing that backwards? There. There's glare. Glare, get out of the way! Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to go into it. It's there. It's the Bible. I like the movies. I do. I don't mind the lengths. Although viewing them now, at every end of each disc, because they're split, I do wait. And then the next day, like when I get in the mood to watch them, that's usually when I watch them. I'll watch them like in a week, not a full sit-through. So I'll watch like one disc, part one, one day, and then the next night I'll watch part two, and the next one I'll go into the next movie, part one, and I'm a Hobbit fan. I'm a Tolkien fan. I never read Tolkien when I was growing up. I knew nothing of these movies. I did see the Ralph Bakshi animated, I believe it was The Hobbit. It wasn't, well, he did Lord of the Rings too. I think it was The Hobbit I saw. I didn't see Lord of the Rings, the animated one. But I saw that in theaters with my buddy. And I even had the movie poster of both of those at one time. I don't know, I might still have those, the original one sheets. But anyway, when Peter Jackson was going to do these, and and then the extended, and then the Hobbit's getting such a bad rap with all those extended versions, and people just don't like that. I think people are just tired of the Tolkien stuff, because those movies are pretty decent. I have no qualms with them. An hour-long dinner scene in the first Hobbit movie, I have no problem with. It's beautiful. The characters, the makeup, the look of the film, and those are in 3D. So the 3D is just outstanding. I would love Jackson to go, or the studios, and remaster these in 3D. I know 3D naysayers are out there. Why do that? You don't have to buy them. You got your own set. Enjoy those. Us 3D fans that want them, we want them. Give them to us at least. Anyway, the Tolkien movies are great. I like them. They're in my collection. I talked about this in Skin Slip Scavenger Hunt, and I'm not going to go too much on it. You can go back and watch that video if you want. If you're channel Donstar Roger D Completist, you've probably seen all my videos. Hopefully, go back and watch the early ones. They're only like 2-3 views. Go way back and watch some of those old early ones. Lords of Satan, Rob Zombie, Steelbook. Thank you, Skinslip, for announcing the Steelbook and making me want to go out and buy it. And I'm glad I did, because I didn't buy this movie when it originally came out. I knew nothing about it. I loved House of a Thousand Corpses. I love Devil's Rejects. I like the Halloween movies. This one, I was like, I saw the trailer. It's like, it's very artsy. It looks very Kubrickian. But I don't know if I want to see it. And then the reviews were really bad, the critic reviews. But then I started hearing a lot of buzz on the web about how really cool it is. And then Skinslip sold me on it. And I was like, you know, yeah, I'll buy it. And I watched it, and I loved it. It was great. It's great. It's different from the others. It's its own thing, which is great. It's an original Rob Zombie film. And I really like it. And the Steelbook is really cool. We got 5 more, folks. 5 more. What's our time? Wow. Hey, people have a problem with it. People say it's dated. It's dated. It's garbage. I don't want to see this. You know, it's a good movie. And I saw this a few times at the show. I actually went about, well, maybe 2-3 times to see this. I went back and saw it again and again because I liked it. And back then you had to go to the show and see it. Talking about Lost Boys. Lost Boys is great. Everybody knows this. Horror fans know this movie. Not going to go big deep in it. I love the score. The score is really kind of cool. What's that thing at the beginning during the montage of People Are Strange? There's like a ski lift thing, which is probably an amusement park ride. And one of the cars are coming to you, and there's this weird looking mannequin, dummy, sitting there. And what is that? It was just one little shot. And it's like, what is that? What's that weird guy with the weird face? What is that real? Is that, no, it's mannequin. Is it just there? What? It amuses me. They actually got picture art on the disc. Yeah, but it's not the 2 core. It's the other guy. Anyway, Lost Boys. Cool modern day vampire flick. Really liked it. I love the ending. The whole ending in the house and the damn vampires. You're not supposed to have guilty pleasures, but this is a guilty pleasure because I really don't like this movie. But there's something about it when I put it in. The first half hour gets me excited. Like, oh, this ain't too bad. This is pretty good. And then the middle is kind of like, all right, okay. And then when they find the goofy little bloop, it's like, this is really bad CGI. And then Smith turning into the spider thing, and then the planet. But by the end, the final scene when they're flying through the breaking up planet, and they get to the end, and then the credits come up, I'm like, I want a second movie. You just set this up. Now I want to see another sequel. I want to see a sequel. They're never going to make a sequel of Lost in Space. This is Hollywood's attempt to try to make a feature-length film of the old TV series, classic or not, depending on your viewpoint. I plan on picking up that series when it comes out on Blu. Probably not, most likely not for its full price, because I'm not going to be able to afford that. But when it does come down, either on a Black Friday or something, I will be picking it up. Mainly because of the first season, which I love the first season of Lost in Space. The second and third turn into the Dr. Smith show. And, oh, Will, you bumbling movie. Jonathan Harris, man, you know, I got his audit. Oh, I don't have it up. You know, I met him like a year before he passed at Chiller Theater, got his autograph. Yes. Oh, make it out to Roger? Very well. He was still that way. He was old, probably in his 80s, and he would still talk with that theater voice. Gary Oldman's going to be Dr. Smith. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. That's great. Did you see that? He's wasted. He's wasted. Yeah, the robot, the whole new design of everything, the new ship. When it starts, it's like, oh, it's a Jupiter 2, but then it breaks open and then this thing comes out. It's like, what is that? And the robot, although they had Bob May come back and do the voice, that was cool. But Lacey Chabert. Lacey Chabert. Yeah, this is, along with the Jungle Book, I probably have to say, I'll say, my favorite Disney animated film, I mentioned this in the Jays, of all time is The Jungle Book. You know, Baloo the Bear, Shere Khan, Bagheera, Mowgli, Bare Necessities, all that. My favorite live-action Disney movie of all time is The Love Bug. I love it. I love it. Saw it at the show many times with my parents, with my friends. Went back again and again. Back then when movies were in the theater for like a month or more. You know, geez, when Star Wars, it was years and years they never took that movie away. Now they're in there for a few weeks and they're gone. But this, something about The Love Bug really touched a nerve growing up. Loved it. It's not Terry Thomas. Who is that guy? Wait, it is Terry Thomas, isn't it? Buddy Hackett, Tennessee Assignment, Joe Flynn. McHale! Joe Flynn, one of our greatest character actors. So anyway, I got this on DVD, and it's loaded with extras. It is beautiful. And I heard that they released it on Blu-ray, but it's only exclusive if you're like a Disney Club member, which I'm not. But I heard that most of those members will go on eBay and put those Disney movies on eBay. Like there's an Absent-Minded Professor and Son of Flubber, which is another close but not favorite of mine. But I will get it if they ever come out on Blu-ray. And they are in the Disney Club, but it's very expensive. And the problem with those are, it's great that they're remastered on Blu-ray. I don't even think they're remastered, but they're on Blu-ray. But there's no extras. There's none whatsoever. There's no trailer. There's nothing. Whereas the DVD, which I still have, which I'll show off when we get to there, is loaded with extras. A whole separate disc just of extras. Love it. Love it. Love the race. Sequels, not so much. Although I do have the DVD with all the sequels. But it's the original, the first Herbie. I even had a storybook record that told the story using audio clips from the movie. I love The Love Bug. Say what you will. Say la vie. La vie. This is one of those horror movies I heard about. I heard really good things on the web. I was like, oh, this is one of those new ones. Okay. And I saw a copy, a DVD version, and I watched it, and I loved it. I was like, I got to get it on Blu-ray. And it's not available in the States, so I had to import it from England. It's called The Loved Ones. Weird little girl, loves this guy in school, asks him to the dance. He says no. She kidnaps him, and her and her daddy torture the guy. It's funny. It's gross. It's got an amazing ending. Amazing ending when she's on the road and the car is coming. I'm not going to say anymore. It's Loved Ones. Horror fans, if you haven't seen The Loved Ones, see The Loved Ones. Excuse that big-ass belch. And the final L. We're so glad we had the time together. Again, I thought this was going to be in 3D. I could have swore, like with Into the Storm, that I saw the trailer, and the trailer says in 3D. So I was, as a 3D fan and a collector, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. Luc Besson, action flick. Scarlett Johansson in 3D. No. The cover is in 3D, but not the movie. Nice lenticular slipcover. Lucy. Got a lot of bad raps, this movie. DVD, Blu-ray. But I enjoyed it as an action flick. Leave your brain at the door. Leave your brain at the door and enjoy the movie for what it is. Doesn't make much sense, you know. I mean, well, it makes sense, but it's... I bought it for the eye candy, and I bought it for the action. I knew what to expect, and I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed it. It's not the greatest. It's not going to win any awards or anything, but it's got Scarlett Johansson kicking ass. It's got a cool lenticular cover. And it's my final L movie in Roger D's collection. So there we go. Don Knotts on Blu-ray. Why can't we have Don Knotts on Blu-ray? Yeah, so L. M's are next. We got the whole bottom row and a tiny bit of up there. So who knows how long that'll be. But guys, I'm going to cut this short now because it's already 2:45, 2:46, 2:47 minutes. No, 1:47. Oh God, if it was 3 hours, that'd be nuts. Does YouTube allow that long videos, 3-hour videos? Anyway, not that I'm going to do any. Yeah, so those are my L's and my K and L's. And I didn't give any digital copies away. Hey, hold on a sec. I did a pickup video, and to show you the pickups I had. And while they're not L or K movies, oh, this one doesn't have one. Let's see, could I give one? Can I give one away? Can I give one away? Hey, does this have one? Let me see if this has one. Whoop. Does this have one? No, that one doesn't have one. And the debut. When I try to give these away, I try to find something that's a little newer or something that most people won't have. No, that wouldn't have any. That. Does this have? I doubt this has one. No. No. So, well, what we'll do, how about Lords of Satan? Lords of Salem have a? No. Oh, well. Hey, guys. What can I say? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you, this was a new pickup this week, I'm going to give you the UV code to Insurgent, which just came out 2 days ago. I got the 3D version. This is the Divergent series Insurgent. So I'm just going to give you one today. But those who are the first to view this and are interested in getting a digital copy of this movie will now get it for free from me, your old Papa D. Here you go. Let's put that up there. Let it stay for a bit so you can see it. Let it focus. That's the code. Okay, and is there a website? Yeah, you got to go there. Movie Redeem. Okay, and to prove, there's the Divergent series Insurgent. There's the code again, and we're done. Yeah, folks. Sorry I didn't have any. Most of my L's and K's are older movies. So, yeah, you probably already have them. So I'm glad I can give you something that just came out. It's not one of the letters, but it is one of my newer pickups. So enjoy that. I haven't watched that series yet. I don't know if I'm going to try to watch the first one before I watch the second one in 3D, but like I was saying in my pickups, I only bought this Steelbook. It was a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. I bought this because it was the 3D version, and I'm a 3D completist. Like I said in that video, my eyes are perfect for what the 3D presentation is. I have no headaches. I have no vision cross weird ghosting issues. It's beautiful. There's depth. Sometimes there's stuff that comes out which is really a bonus, with a lot of Hollywood stuff because they don't know how to convert they don't know how to do 3D the way it should be. I just picked up a what was it, 3D Classics or some. It was when I get to the 3D, I'll talk about it. But a lot of the original 3D stuff from the 50s, they made things come out at you, and even in the 80s, coming at you, and Star Space something or Parasite with the original what's her name. Anyway, they really did the 3D stuff. A lot of your newer movies and your new Pixar movies and things like that, it's more about looking at a window and the depth behind and nothing really coming out at you, which is a very good treat when and I read that the Divergent or Insurgent, it's Insurgent. I read that there's some stuff at the end, some special effects stuff where glass and things are coming out at you, and there's a lot of, anyway, I'm rambling, Raj. Anyway, guys, you got the UV code for that. Hey, I mentioned this before. I haven't heard anybody since the last video. It's been a week who got those past UV codes. Nobody's writing me and saying I got them, and thank you. Like I said, if you do, if you're the first to get this Insurgent and you're able to download it and watch it, just give me a little message and say, hey, I'm the one that got it, and I'll give you a shout out in the next video. That's all I can do for you, So those are the K's, those are the L's. M's are next. I don't know when that's going to be. So just stay tuned, all right? Stay tuned to Channel Donstar, and we'll see you in the next video. The fuck am I? Bye-bye, folks.